Her Knight in Shining Football Pads by Kaity Norriss. To Granny, thank you for believing in me and for your continual love and support. Chapter 1, Kaylee. I know this situation is getting dire, but I just want to play with fire. You left me out in the cold. My heart you steamrolled. Who knew you were such a good liar? I'm finally done playing with fire. The new lyrics ring out through the audience, and I soak up their attention. Being on stage gives me a rush like nothing I've ever experienced. The rest of the world fades away, and it's just me and the music. The last chord vibrates through the room, and I'm brought back to earth, where our guitarist, James, looks annoyed by the change in the last stanza of Playing with Fire. I ignore his indignant look and say to the crowd, "Thank you for coming out. We're outnumbered by hysteria, and we hoped we rocked your night." I focus on the cheer of the crowd as the lights dim. It's one of the biggest crowds we've had at Black Circle, the record and coffee shop hybrid we play at every couple of months. I'd like to think it means that we're starting to have real fans, but I know it probably has more to do with the coffee special they have running today. Regardless of why they're here, they seem to enjoy our music. That's the important part, especially since tonight we didn't play any covers, just our originals. The lights are off of us, and the crowd's attention is drawn to the poet set up on the smaller stage on the other side of the room. I soak in the atmosphere for another moment before starting to pack up our equipment. James is focused on his guitar, and I take the opportunity to take a load to the van without his interference. James is I'm not sure exactly what to call what we were. We were never officially together. He's made that more than clear. Can someone really be your ex if you weren't truly together in the first place? I mean, we weren't completely not together either. We have too much history to just be nothing to each other. I guess now he's like that old song, and he's someone that I used to know. Although now I'm wondering if I actually ever knew the real James. I wouldn't have thought the guitarist who joined our band had it in him to be such a cruel person. I try to focus on the feelings I get performing and lose myself in the task of getting the van loaded up. Connor, our bassist, carries our equipment out as I arrange it all so it'll fit. One advantage of being in marching band and on the loading crew is I know how to make everything fit in a space that doesn't look big enough. That ought to be all of it, but you should take another look around the stage to make sure Sarah didn't miss anything, Connor says after helping me lift the last load into the back. Sarah is our band's drummer and my younger sister. I head inside to make a final lap before we head out. Sarah's nowhere to be found when I get back inside, but I'll worry about that after. I'm sure we're ready to go. Knowing her, she could have found a record or a cute boy she's interested in. Either way, it can wait until I'm sure the stage is clear. The front of the stage is clear of our stuff. I step backstage and am immediately engulfed in James' presence. He towers over me and leans into my space. It's cute how you think changing some song lyrics is going to convince me you're done with things between us. The last stanza of Playing with Fire was supposed to repeat. It felt like such a sweet bliss. I burned up with your kiss. I know this situation is getting dire, but I just want to play with fire. However, I think my new lyrics in the song much better. And if Playing with Fire is synonymous for whatever it is James and I have been doing, then I'm definitely done with it. James flicks his platinum blonde hair before leaning in and whispering in my ear. You've said you're done before, but you always end up crawling back to me. Maybe you shouldn't try so hard to convince me you mean it when you don't even believe it. His words send shivers down my spine in a way that isn't entirely unpleasant. I mentally scold myself. I'm not falling back under his spell. He doesn't care about me, and I need to remember that. It wasn't so bad in the beginning. We'd occasionally make out after band practice, and he'd send me flirty texts. He was there for me when things started getting strained with my parents. At the time, I thought that'd be a turning point in our relationship. I was right, but it didn't go the direction I'd hoped. James was colder when we weren't together, and not even always that nice when we were together. This last time together was different, though. He had made it sound like he was going to actually commit, so I took him back and let him burrow into my heart. Then he shredded it like he always does, except this was way worse. This time, I'm entirely done with the back and forth. I take a step away from James to help clear my head. You've made it clear there's nothing for me to come back to. We were just bandmates now and nothing else. Don't bother texting me again unless it's about the band. I won't be answering otherwise. We'll see about that. James grabs my wrist before I can get too far away from him. Act like you aren't completely hung up on me if you want. It'll just make it that much sweeter when you come begging for scraps of attention. James walks off, leaving me flustered. Even when I'm standing my ground, it feels like he still wins, which is so unfair. Sarah startles me with her presence. I thought y'all were currently in your off again phase. We aren't off again. We're done for good. I deserve to be treated better, and I'm not putting up with James' nonsense anymore. I hate that I sound so unsure. I want to be done with him, but he still has the broken pieces of my heart he stole. You always say y'all are done for good. It hasn't been true yet. Sarah rolls her eyes. This time is different. I ignore Sarah's look of disbelief. It is different, even if I won't tell her why. Whatever you say, are you ready to head out? More than ready. We head out the backstage door and almost walk into a couple making out in the hallway. I'm not even surprised to see that it's James and some random girl. He seems to always have someone willing to kiss him wherever we go. Refusing to let him get to me, I roll my eyes and step around them, grabbing a hold of Sarah as I go so she doesn't decide to make a scene. I love that her instinct would be to stand up for me, but the last thing I want to do is feed James's ego. Dave, one of the baristas, catches us right before we make it back outside. Hey, you have a fan asking if they can meet you. Ugh, it's probably just another groupie hoping for some of the attention James has no issue with spreading around. I don't have the time or energy to deal with that. I'm sure James would be happy to meet her when he's done with his current groupie. I have no desire to be the middleman for that. I'm already stepping around Dave when he halts me with a gentle touch to my arm. It's a he, and he specifically asked for you. I can tell him you're already gone if you want, but he seems genuinely interested in your music. He's got an Our Last Night shirt and doesn't give off any creeper vibes. Not that I'd leave y'all alone with him or anything, but he appears to be a stand-up guy. A good guy with good taste in music. Seems like just what you need to make this break from you-know-who stick, Sarah says from next to me. Am I mildly intrigued by who this guy is? Absolutely. Am I in the mood to talk to people right now? Absolutely not. I may be interested in meeting a fellow Our Last Night fan that likes our music, but not tonight. Our Last Night is my favorite band, and Outnumbered by Hysteria started as an Our Last Night cover band. However, none of that is a good enough reason for me to interact with some guy I don't know when I'm already not in a good mood. I don't need or want another guy in my life, I say to Sarah, trying to communicate with my eyes that she needs to drop the topic, especially with James just up the hallway from us. I turn back to Dave. Tell him he missed us and to try again at our next gig. Our card with all our social media stuff on it should be at the counter. Dave nods. Have a good night. We step around him and head to the van. I'm more than ready to get out of here and get away from everyone else.